how to memorize more and faster than other people. People like to joke that the only thing you really learn in school is how to memorize. As it turns out, that's not even the case for most of us. If you go around the room and ask a handful of people how to memorize things quickly and how to remember things, most of them will probably tell you repetition. That is, so far from the truth, it's running for office. If you want to memorize something quickly and thoroughly, repetition won't cut it. However, recalling something will. The problem is that recalling something requires learning, and we all learn in different ways. Before you start, know your learning style. Before we start, you need to establish something. Are you an auditory, visual, or experiential learner? If you're an auditory learner, then the most effective way for you to grasp information is by hearing it. As you can imagine, visual learners favor seeing something in order to learn it. Most of us are a combination of at least two of these categories, but I will then note which step is most favorable to your most agreeable learning style so that you can start to memorize things quickly and efficiently. Step 1. Preparation. To optimize your memorization session, pay close attention to which environment you choose. For most people, this means choosing an area with few distractions, though some people do thrive off of learning in public areas. Figure out what is most conducive to your learning so that you can get started. Next, start drinking some tea. I could link you to mounds of scientific studies that confirm green tea is a natural catalyst for improving memory. Mechanically speaking, our ability to recall information comes down to the strength between neurons in our mind, which are connected by synapses. The more you exercise the synapse, repetition, the stronger it is, resulting in the ability to memorize. Step 2. Record what you're memorizing. This is especially useful if you're trying to memorize information from the lecture. Use a tape recorder to track all of the acquired facts being spoken and listen to it. If you're trying to memorize a speech, record yourself reading the speech aloud and listen to yourself speaking. Obviously, this is most helpful for auditory learners, but it's also handy because it ensures that you're getting more context from the lecture that will help you learn the information faster. Step 3. Write everything down. Before you start trying to recall everything from memory, write and rewrite the information. This will help you become more familiar with what you're trying to memorize. Doing this while listening to your tape recorder can also help you retain a lot of the data. This is most useful for experienced learners. Step 4. Apply repetition to cumulative memorization. For each line of text, repeat it a few times and try to recall it without looking. As you memorize each set of text, be cumulative by adding the new information to what you've just learned. This will keep everything within your short-term memory from fading. Keep doing this until you have memorized that section and you are able to recall the entire thing. Do not move on to another section until you have memorized that one completely. Step 5. Write it down from memory. Now that you can recall entire sections, write everything down from memory. This will reinforce everything you have just learned by applying it experientially. Step 6. Listen to the recordings continuously. While doing unrelated tasks like laundry or driving, go over the information again by listening to your tape recordings. This is certainly auditory learning, but it will still supplement everything you've shoved into your short-term memory. Step 7. Take a break. Finally, let your mind breathe. Go for a short time without thinking about what you just learned and come back to it later on. You'll find out what you really know, and this will help you focus on the sections you might be weakest at. Try these steps now and you will find remembering things a lot easier and you'll memorize more stuff than a lot of other people. Step 8. Section your notes. Now that you have everything written down in one set of notes, separate them into sections. This is ideal for visual learners, especially if you use color coding to differentiate between subjects. This will help you break everything down and start compartmentalizing the information being recorded in your brain. Step 9. Teach it to someone or yourself. The most effective method for me when I was in school was to teach the information to someone else. You can do this in a variety of ways. You can lecture the knowledge to someone sitting right in front of you, or the mirror, if you can't convince anyone to sit through it and explain everything extemporaneously.